Listen, we'll never hear enough stupid Elden Ring hot takes. We need more. We need more. Watching Actman's first video on the topic, I actually covered his second video when Shadow of the Erdtree came out, but I'm rewinding back to April 10th, 2022 to watch his first worst Elden Ring hot takes. I'm just going to scroll down so you can see it. The worst Elden Ring hot takes. Let's just dive right into it. Starting right out. Let's just do it.
Most of us playing and engaging with Elden Ring have been having the time of our lives. And the reason I bring that up is, well, there's a lot of hot takes from people who are super jealous of that. But their opinions can't ruin something as pristine and beautiful as Elden Ring. So instead, a lot of these people just kind of flail about making incoherent rants in the vain hope that Miyazaki will add an easy mode at some point. That's right.
Hardship's what gives meaning to the experience. Yes, Zuri, that is true. Hardship, to an extent. Yeah. Obviously, I don't think every Elden Ring boss handles difficulty the best, but moving on.
That's right.
Here's the thing about that, is that oftentimes when people make the dumbest, incoherent complaints possible, it's not because they don't kind of mean well, they just think something, and they are unable to distinguish what they think versus fact. Which is why you'll see all kinds of ridiculous takes on the internet that really don't mean anything at the end of the day. Ignore this bandage on my face. But there is, like, you know, when you see common things like the actual developers of a game versus the publishers of a game, who made what decision, no one really knows who to blame, so they just automatically blame the publisher. That's not always the case, but people kind of just default to what they think, right? They just default to what they think. And I think, you know, requesting an easy mode may be somewhere deep down in their hearts coming from a place of sincere, like, wanting more people to experience the game, right? But you're kind of missing the point by doing that. The story and the feeling of the world wouldn't be as sincere if there was an easy mode, right? Speaking of an easy mode, there's actually another video by Actman that I've listened to more than once, but it's been a while. I'm going to go ahead and put that on my playlist to watch later.
Looking at the hottest Elden Ring takes.
Only the
So
juiciest.
strap on your Estus flask and take a swig every time I show you something stupid.
Alright.
Before all that, I'm about to poison myself with a variety of different hot sauces. Now,
Oh, something stupid, an ad. Okay, I'm joking. That's...
probably the hot takes that blew up the most were what these three devs said about Elden Ring. And these people were from Guerrilla Games, Ubisoft, and Xanax Software. The fact that Elden Ring scored a 97 Metacritic is proof that reviewers don't give a flaming poop about game user experience. My life is a lie. Nor PC graphics, stability, and performance apparently. Nor quest design really. Now what these people are really saying...
Okay, I remember that one. Man, that feels like it's been like 4 years ago. Elden Ring came out in 2022. What happened? Where are we? Where am I? But yes, I actually do remember these posts. Let's go back and look at those real quick. Let's just take a look at those. The fact that Elden Ring scored a 97 on Metacritic is proof that reviewers don't give a crap about gaming user experience. That is so vague. Right, that's insanely vague. What does that even mean? User experience? What kind of experience? What experience are you talking about? Are we talking about, like, difficulty? Are we just talking about difficulty? Are we talking about difficulty balance? Are we talking about the order in which you set up challenge to balance difficulty? Because as much as Margit is pretty hard, you are kind of allowed to go anywhere at the start, right? There's no one stopping you from getting to at least a +3 weapon at the start. Maybe more if you have a normal weapon and not a special weapon. But that says nothing. That's insanely vague. What does game user experience even mean? I don't understand what that means. This one's a little more justified. Nor PC graphics stability and performance, because PC did have some issues at launch. It still does, not nearly to the extent it did, but it does still have a few issues here and there. Granted, when I played it, it was a pirated version. I do own it now. Yeah, whatever. Don't come at me with that crap. I own it now. Thank you, Evan Hart, for paying me for editing his videos. Anyways, it did have some issues at launch. That's fine. I don't think. But also the thing is, this person in particular, Rebecca Fernandez O'Shea, has actually probably the best point out of all of these developers, because From Software has a history of not making good PC ports. I don't know what the heck is going on in the background, but I think, if memory serves, every PC port of theirs, except for Sekiro, launched in a not very good state. Not bad, Not like modern day PC ports that are like just awful and they barely function half the time. I mean like just generally they don't perform as good as the console versions, no matter how good your computer is. So, okay, cool, you know, whatever, that's fine.
Currently, no quest design.
Quest design. A lot of people do have issues. You can't see it, it's down here. That would be a Horizon Forbidden Blake. Huh. Game developer, huh? I wonder what game he worked on. I don't know. That could just be an actual name. I don't know. But, quest design, I've actually heard a lot more people complain about that. And I don't want to say I disagree with it, but just saying they don't know how to do quest design, like this tweet implies, is kind of just stupid. It's kind of just dumb. Because they know how to, they just refuse to give you more details than you need, if even that. And while I do agree, I think From Software could find a better way of implementing, you know, when to do what characters to see, when you've already ruined a quest for yourself. I think there are better ways of doing that, I'm not going to lie. I know why From Software does it the way they do it, is to make you feel immersed. But I think they should take more of an Elder Scrolls Morrowind approach by having the game itself, by having the world give you instructions, as opposed to, oh, here's a quest line, here's a quest marker, here's a quest description, right? They should give something in the world that more implies what you need to do, so it still makes you look. It still makes you have to feel immersed. It's not going to break immersion because, hey, the world gave this to you, right? I think that would still be difficult, to be fair. That would still be kind of difficult to pull off, especially with character quests that evolve, and there can't really be things in the world ahead of time. I don't know. It would be difficult, but I think that's what would be necessary if you were to change how From Software does side quests now.
Really? Now what these people are really saying is, I'm jealous of From Software's success because it overshadows my own. I am insecure and questioning my career and design choices. Hey, genius, maybe somebody's just better at making video games than you. Maybe there's thousands of people better at making videos than me. Let's just be happy for them. Why is it so hard? Comparison is the thief of joy. And wait.
Exactly, right? And it's not that, you know, these people, if I'm to take that Horizon Forbidden thing seriously, if I was to take that at face value and assume that person worked on the Horizon games, they're accomplished for their own reasons, right? Don't bash another game. Some people like those games more than Elden Ring, right? I don't know who the Ubisoft person or the Nixxes developer is, but you know, those games usually have their own merits. Some people like those games more than Elden Ring. No need to be jealous. No need to be jealous.
Hey,
I mean, my goodness, I am like the lowest of the low barrel of content creation. I don't even do reactions as good as some people. I try. I'm trying my best. I don't even watch React content. I have nothing to base my my lack of skill set off of. I do my best. I enjoy doing this, right? But I'm not going to get jealous of other YouTubers who are better at doing it. They're just better at doing it. I don't care. Bro, freaking Daryl Talks Games is an amazing essay video game guy. I tried to make video essays on another channel. They were good on surface level, but I wasn't very good at packaging videos at the time. So, but you know, comparison is the thief of joy, right? He's right.
Reviewers don't care about PC graphics. Wait, reviewers don't care about PC graphics?
They're talking about the score. She's talking about the score. So it's like, hey, 97. But if the PC port runs bad, why is it such a high score, right? I think in this case it would have been safe to assume From Software would have fixed it. And also, I think at that time most developers were playing on or reviewers were playing on console because PC ports were still garbo. Still kind of are for the most part.
Have we been playing the same game?
Axeman also has a bad habit of taking things out of context, so we're not using the appropriate context.
UX also stands for user experience and like isn't a review about the user's experience with the game.
Yeah, I didn't get that one. I don't understand that one.
Oh, Actman hurt himself in his confusion. These developer tweets are like way out of left field because
they kind of were, yeah.
Twitter celebrate each other's success. Luckily, the memes that came out of this were just pure gold.
That is true. Like you'll often see other developers of maybe games that didn't do as well be like, "Yo, this game was great. Good job, guys, over at Company X," right? So I remember this did come out of left field, especially from like someone that worked at Ubisoft of all places and Guerrilla. Like, come on.
Allow me to play you a brief but powerful slideshow.
If Ubisoft made Elden Ring a short story, oh no. Ah! Press A to jump. Jumping can be used to reach higher areas to traverse obstacles. Page 1 of 5. You have been spotted. Foot soldier. I can hear you, tarnished scum. Maybe I should investigate that cave. Oh my goodness. I'm just looking at this and I'm kind of baffled. Like, oh my goodness. You can't even see all of it here. Let me just... Oh my goodness. Now, like, I'm a firm believer in mods putting things in like this if they want to, just because if they feel like it. But, yeah, this is a bit ludicrous. Row of fruit bush, first why to collect. Hey, there's a chest over here. Hey, there's your marker over there, 600 meters. Oh my gosh. Slot machine, Halo.
Now, I want to make it clear, it's okay to dislike a video game that I like. It's okay to enjoy something that I do not. Dog model. This goes without saying. What I care about is if your reasons are good. Unlike this next guy who...
Right, one of my big things is... I don't care if you don't like a game, but don't lie about it. I hear people lie about games, right? Or they will say things that are objectively incorrect. Halo Reach multiplayer. Armor lock alone does not break the game's balance. If the other team is better, armor lock is not going to make them lose. Okay, like that's just kind of the sort of thing. You can complain all you want, but if you just say blanket statements that just either are completely subjective and don't reflect anyone else's opinions, or are just straight up not true, I don't care, you're an idiot. Tales of Vesperia is one of the worst JRPGs I've ever played. That's something I heard somebody say one time. And I'm like, dude, have you ever even played a bad game? I don't... Okay. I'm gonna be here longer than I thought I would.
Posted one of the worst Elden Ring reviews I've ever seen.
Who did?
Yeah, I'm returning this utter crap.
I think I've seen this.
This game is terrible.
I don't care what anybody says.
You can tell someone's angry.
I watched this video a long time ago, but I've forgotten all of it. I recognize this video.
When they're just, like, shaking the fucking game case in the video, and it's like, that's the video.
I was going to do a video on it. This is it. This is the video. It's going to be a quick upload.
So, let's summarize this guy's very brief experience with Elden Ring.
His review is 2 minutes long.
The reasons
and he deleted it.
He thinks it's trash.
Coming off the heels of my Elden Ring sucks video, because the game does suck. It's a terrible example of game design.
Elden Ring is bad because it doesn't follow game design principles. And no, I won't elaborate on what I think those are. That's up to your imagination, not mine.
And here's the thing, that's fine. But like he said, he doesn't explain it. What about Elden Ring didn't follow game design principles that you don't like? What in particular do you think was not done right? You can't just say game sucks. If you just say game sucks, no one cares. No one's going to listen to you. Unless the game actually does suck. In which case, everyone's just going to conglomerately agree that, hey, game sucks.
I got all the way through that beginning of the game. It was very bland. So I get to that guy with the mask. I accidentally attack him. He kills me.
So you arrived in Limgrave
and
immediately attacked the first non-hostile NPC. So you must have ignored the talk button at the bottom of the screen when you walked up to him.
You had to.
His non-threatening pose and lack of wielding any kind of weapon.
I respawn right in front of him. He kills me.
Oh, I did a long time ago. I made a video on my other channel when I was trying different stuff out. I looked at reviews for Dark Souls on Metacritic. I looked at user reviews. This reminds me of one that I looked at where a guy picked the thief starting class and he just assumed he knew what that meant. So when he ran to the first NPC you find at Firelink, the Crestfallen guy, I don't remember what his name was, the guy with the bowl cut. So when he ran into him, he immediately started attacking him because he thought thief meant, oh, I could just rob anybody. I'm going to start attacking him and steal his soul. And then he blamed the game because he thought... Yeah, like Actiman's about to say, you know, character is sitting down, doesn't attack, there's a talk button there, etc., right? He's just like, well, I'm a thief, I thought, you know, I'm supposed to steal his soul, and that it's the game's fault now that the NPC attacks you after you attack the NPC. Oh, I love hot take videos, these are so funny. Like, I'm having so much fun right now. I don't even know what to say, really.
Respawn, he kills me.
You didn't attack him on accident because he takes at least 3 hits to trigger aggro, and I tested this. He even says...
Do you even comprehend? the gravity of this choice?
No.
Bro, no.
You ignored his dialogue. He's straight up like, "Are you sure you want to continue attacking?" Yes, you do. All right.
Alrighty, I'm just. Alright, time to attack.
See this big thing, horse minotaur looking thing, kills me one hit. Alright, I respawn right in front of the guy who kills me.
Windex.
Like, how is this fun? How is this fun?
So you die to this guy a few more times before figuring out how to run away. And then you run straight towards the giant fuck-off golden knight on a horse. And you're surprised that he's hostile too.
And there's supposed to be a lock-on system, but my guy decides to just start swinging wildly.
Tell me you're not making this video without knowing how to lock on. I've never seen someone invalidate their own opinions as a game player so effortlessly.
That's pretty bad.
Assume that he ignored everything in the tutorial because the tutorial teaches you how to lock on. You couldn't even Google.
I will say 1 point in the guy's favor.
In the tutorial because the tutorial.
I think this is. I was gonna say it's easily missable, but to be honest, if this is the first time you're playing a game, you should have seen this. Never mind. No points for the guy's favor. He's an idiot. He's dumb. Let's move on.
Teaches you how to lock on. You couldn't even Google this. Like, there's supposed to be a lock-on system. Consult Dr. Google.
And there's supposed to be a lock-on system, but my guy decides to just start swinging wildly. I point the camera back at him. It gives me a light lock-on, and he starts swinging wildly. I'm like, the guy moves, and I'm still swinging wildly. I'm like, how is it? I don't care what anybody says. Oh, you gotta do this. Oh.
Press in on the right stick. Don't attack that guy. Sneak past the big horse.
Now we know.
And knowing is G.I.
Joe.
Like, homie, you can't just ignore literally
goodness.
everything the game is trying to tell you and then blame the game. Like, how does a guy who has hundreds of games...
I also like how Actback got recreation footage where, like, he ran away from the guy towards the horse. That was funny. I meant to say that a second ago.
Games on his shelves not understand the concept of a non-hostile NPC.
These games are not enjoyable. Yes, I get there are people out there that like it, and this game is not a 10 out of 10. Nowhere near, even if it ends wildest dreams.
Dude, just like make a new guy. You couldn't have been more than 10 minutes in. Make a new guy and just don't attack him. But nope.
Nope, drops the game.
Gave up right there.
Wastes all that money on the game and just throws it out. I wonder if is the channel in the description? No, probably for the better, but it's not. Okay, I was gonna see how much, like how many subscribers he had, if he could just like afford the game randomly. But I guess it's better that we don't know his name. But yeah, like 10 minutes to start a new game, it wouldn't have been that difficult. I will say though, I also don't think Elden Ring is a 10 out of 10. But some people will construe that and think, oh, so you think it's a 5 out of 10? Like, no, I think it's a 9. It's a 9 out of 10. A brilliant 9 out of 10. Not a 10 though. Very few games do I give a 10 out of 10.
Like, imagine posting a review without even killing a single enemy in a Souls game, or learning how to lock on. Yes, this is
about it.
This is his review of the game.
This is one of the most wretched things in terms of
You must have been sitting there just like, why did that guy I stabbed start swinging back? Could you imagine inviting this guy over to play Smash Bros? And he's like,
oh goodness,
why are you attacking me? It's a fighting game. I'm going to show you the cherry on the
cake.
Oh
gosh.
Piece de resistance.
I'm laughing so much I'm kind of getting a little tired. I was already tired to start with, but I'm like extra loopy now. I don't know if I'll be able to think. Man, I'm already 21 minutes into this recording. I'm only almost 10 minutes into the video itself. Excuse me.
To cap off this video,
this is not a good game. It is not a 10 out of 10. Not even if it wanted to. I can't wait for Gran Turismo.
Oh, I remember that one too. Also, what the heck is this? Hang on, you can't see it. Let me get out of your way here for a second. Look at the 87 from critics and 1.9 from users. What happened? What? Where's the discrepancy here, bruh? I love that meme. Wah wah wah. Will you cut that out?
And next up on the Elden Ring Clown Show is a rabbit hole I can't be bothered to go into. Apparently this guy Quantum TV made an Elden Ring review that he later deleted. People saw it was filled with terrible takes and made fun of it, like you do on the internet. One of these videos happened to be from a 17-year-old...
Rest in peace, the doggo. The doggo is dead. Rest in peace, the doggo. Quantum TV, that was a whole thing. I don't even know if I want to... Ugh. I remember all that crap. I don't even know if I want to try to explain it. Basically, he just took everything way too seriously and, like, basically threatened, like, his old YouTube channel. Even, like, kind of, oh, what did he do? Like, he called someone's mother, he called Actman's mother or something? Basically, he played victim, like, 24/7, and he finally, I think he finally got deleted, but it took way longer than it needed to. Like, he basically broke every YouTube guideline ever, and it took YouTube forever to get rid of the channel. Man, I don't even know if I want to cover this part. Do I even want to? Like, we know what happened to the guy. Do I really have to cover this? I'm just gonna keep watching for a moment.
British guy named Mischief, and his response video triggered Quantum TV so far off the edge that he threatened to copyright strike a minor in a different country for criticizing him. This also led to
he did this a lot.
YouTubers picking up the story, which led to Quantum making more videos and justifying his insane takes that you're about to see. It's like a rabbit hole we don't even want to go down.
Yeah, I think Actman wasn't into the drama until Quantum decided to also try and, like, get on this video about the response. Like, man, you've already got a legion of YouTubers after you. What should I do next? Go after the guy who said he doesn't even want to get in on this, and then add to the list of people who are after you. Like, my goodness. Goodness great. Like, even big React content creators were talking about this, and it still took YouTube that long. Like, man, YouTube security is a joke. Like, it's terrible. And yet, here I am.
Today I'll be giving you guys a review of Elden Ring. Essentially, I don't buy this game. The name of the game should not be called Elden Ring. The name of the game should be called You Die. Again and again and again.
I suppose if you never get good, then yeah, you'll keep dying.
Because that's all you're really going to spend most of your time doing. You're going to die because the game has no easy difficulty. The difficulty spikes when you get to certain bosses. It's so unfair that you'll find yourself spending so many hours losing time away from your life. So I would say this game is for somebody who really is looking for a sandbox. They have no family, no friends, no life, and they have literally thousands of hours.
I like how I was making that face on instinct, just because I'm so used to it, and the Actman just so happens to also be making that face.
To grind away.
Why? This is a game made for people without families.
No family.
Fuck you, orphans. You probably... I can't understand why this guy was getting flack.
They have no family.
No, I can't. I don't get it.
Friends, no life.
You are maidenless.
Where do you come up with this? Do you just get out of bed in the morning and you're like,
Tales of Vesperia music.
I'm gonna be a fucking asshole today.
When you die, you lose everything you collected.
You ever just wake up in the morning and think, man, I want to be a tuber today?
Everything. That means you start over, so leveling up is extremely hard because of the nature of the game and its difficulty level, and it's not fun. There's nothing fun about this game for somebody who is new to the franchise.
And that's kind of the crux of the issue, right?
That might be true.
I try to do when I criticize a game or a series that I'm not all that familiar with. I'm much softer about my criticisms. Have an understanding that there's fans that know more about this series than you do, so make it clear you're coming from an outsider perspective, and maybe try not to flame the audience.
That is true.
You know,
because I look on Reddit and I keep meaning to make videos that like make fun of really bad Reddit posts. I keep forgetting to do them, but anyways, they take more effort, and I keep just the YouTube videos are easier, so I keep going back to them. But essentially, there's so many videos of people who will just enter into a game like Elden Ring, Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 2, and they'll think, this is the worst game I've ever played. And then they'll go to the Reddit community of said game and complain. I don't know what response they were expecting. Some people do legitimately try to help them. I've tried once or twice, but for the most part, when I see posts like that, I'm like, man, this person doesn't really care. They act like they may care, but they don't really care. You can usually tell the difference between someone who cares and someone who's just there to complain. But I'm like, man, go to, like, literally any other... Also, does my camera keep unfocusing? Like, go anywhere else to complain, man. There's gotta be, like... Is there not, like, a ranting subreddit? There has to be one. There's a subreddit for everything. I don't know. It's stupid. It's ridiculous.
You want your own audience to grow, and if you're being an asshole, it might be kind of hard, Quantum.
It can be.
Just some food for thought.
And then you look at the graphic style. It's a joke. It is literally a joke. And then you look at the graphic style. It's a joke.
Again, lack of context. What does he mean by the graphic style? Does he mean there's a lack of graphics options in the game? Does he mean that the graphics options don't change anything? Again, Actman is like making fun of him with footage without actually providing context. I don't know what that means.
It is like last gen being sold for new gen. Like, I don't understand, like, who...
Okay, so that's better. He did actually just say it's last gen being sold for new. It is a pretty big game. Not made by people who have billions of dollars to spend on a single title. Like, when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, Rockstar could... Who knows how much money Rockstar spent on RDR2, right? Like, that game looks fantastic. Its physics simulation is amazing. But, holy crap, the development time and resources that must have taken was probably ridiculous. And Elden Ring is just not that kind of game. It doesn't need to look as good because it's so much more action-oriented. It has way more effects, I'd say. Like, actual, like, you know, you got your magics and your weather effects and things along those lines. Constantly working. I'm not even halfway through this video.
Who they made this game for, where like you want low frame rates, but that for me, that's a massive deal breaker. I'm a massive motion buff, and to do something like that is unacceptable.
Complaining about the frame rate is a valid criticism. Should that be like...
Performance is something that can be fixed easier than the game's fundamentals, which are excellent. Yes. The game did have issues on PC. I said that earlier with the developer tweets, so moving on.
The biggest factor in your review? Probably not, but I'll give that to you.
Most of your time in the open world is spent just like running around kind of aimlessly, if I'm being honest. It's one of those games where like it's so spread out. The map is so big, you're going to spend a lot of time running around in a very open field that doesn't necessarily have a particular purpose for being that open.
You're going to spend a lot of time running around a very open field. What's that? You said it's an open world game? What's an open world game again?
I'd like there to be a purpose to almost everything. Like, everything is interactable and things like that, but it just doesn't feel like that.
The game is very interactable. You can roll into just about everything. You can blend in with the scenery around you using a particular item.
I love that thing.
Certain landscapes will actually be destroyed throughout a boss fight. The game is very interactable. It sounds like you haven't played it much.
And I think without...
Here's the thing. I think one of my biggest complaints about Elden Ring isn't how open it is. It's the fact that they also expect you to know where to go to get certain things. And the idea that there is a very high chance you might just wander around aimlessly and never find the thing you need is a very good possibility. There's, like, upgrade materials alone. Like, I can't remember which somber smithing stone that's really easy to miss, but... There's a lot of just random upgrade materials that you may never find, and you'll be stuck on a certain weapon level because you don't know where that thing is at, but you can't progress to get the somber bell bearing because you don't have a good enough weapon to progress. It's one of the... That's not what Quantum is saying, but it's one of those things that I don't enjoy about Elden Ring. I think it was a little flawed. I think the story mode itself, the story progression should have given you those upgrade materials, even if it was just enough for one weapon, only one. You had to really choose between whether you wanted to invest in another weapon or not, and if you wanted more stuff to use, you had to go out into the open world and get more of that. That would have made more sense, but the actual progression of the main story doesn't really give you anything useful. At least definitely not for a long time. I think that's a part of Elden Ring's design that could have been improved upon. That's kind of like my biggest complaint about the game. That's not what Quantum is saying. Quantum is just... He's saying something kind of similar, but he's not explaining himself. Kind of like Actman said earlier. If you're just going to randomly complain, you need reasons. I have reasons. Because the amount of random running around I had to do to find... You know, like if you know a certain spell exists, because you've seen someone online use it, well, I mean, you don't want to just look up where it's at. That's boring. Who wants to just look up where something's at? That's boring. You want to explore and find it. But my goodness, have you seen Elden Ring's map? You're not going to find that crap. You're never going to find that crap. I mean, you have got to be so lucky to find those things. It's ludicrous. Lunacy.
Spoiling any parts of the story, which is lackluster, by the way.
Boy, you don't even know the story.
Honest as anyone's going to be about this product. I don't know who they made it for.
Who did they make Elden Ring for? It couldn't possibly be the 12 million people that bought it within 3 weeks.
Again.
Let's be honest, how many of those people are actually playing the game? I'm not saying he's right, I'm just saying that, like, of the 12 million people who bought it, I'm willing to bet a good amount of them quit the game and never actually beat it.
I couldn't speak lowly enough about this game. I don't recommend it, and I think if you're smart, you'll just play something else.
If I can find something good to say about Call of Duty Ghosts and Call of Duty Vanguard, there's hope for everything. Find something good to say.
That's the review. Take it or leave it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, well, I mean, those kinds of channels are never going to do well because you didn't say anything. He didn't even give an example. Like, at least the guy with, like, the 2-minute review that he deleted, at least he showed what happened to him in the game, and he gave that was his reason for quitting. It was a dumb reason, but he showed it. When you make videos like that, duh, of course it's never going to do well.
So that was pretty terrible. But guess what? Part 2.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy!
So,
Oh,
as you guys
boy.
know, I did a review on Elden Ring.
Oof.
That didn't go very well, apparently, for some people.
You
Yeah,
had
can
no
say that
mana.
again.
So, I'm receiving some backlash now that I wanted to address with some of you, because
How much you want to bet this guy is going to deflect
Oh,
why
camera
he's getting
change.
backlash?
a lot of you are not only being childish, but I don't think you're actually seeing this objectively. You see, every single Dark Souls fan watching this video right now had to die 1,000,001 times to learn how to play that game. Using that experience, then laterally jumping over into Elden Ring, you're able to, again, experience that level of challenge, but it's not as hard because you've already done something similar before.
Honestly, I think I'm hot shit every time a new FromSoft game comes out. And I get my ass kicked again and again.
Yeah.
Even when Demon's Souls Remake came out, a game I'd already beaten before. It still
Ooh.
kicked my ass. And that's what I love about the games. They always find a way to surprise you.
But you see, somebody like me,
I think the only time I've ever felt like, oh yeah, this shouldn't be too bad, was probably when I played Dark Souls 3 for the first time. I played 1 extensively. I played 2 like that a lot. I did some challenge runs for Dark Souls 1. And then I finally got my hands on Dark Souls 3, and I was like, you know what, this shouldn't be too bad. That's not how it went. Anyways, moving on.
I've never played Elden Ring. I've never played Dark Souls. I didn't even know Elden Ring was a part of the Dark Souls series. And you know what
I mean, not
mean
exactly,
when
but...
I talk about flaws with the series? The same thing I meant with the TV world, where when you mention a problem with something, fans of that series just damage control it. They'll say stupid, petty, chisty, catty, childish shit. Like, oh...
Well, here's the thing. He's not wrong. He's just probably wrong in this case.
You've lost credibility because you spoke your mind. You gave your opinion. You now have no credibility with me.
No, I think you...
No, your lack of credibility is the fact that you literally just called game bad and left. Imagine, like, I think Actman actually got a comment like this one time. It basically just said, you're the guy who shows up to a party, stirs up a ruckus, and then sits in the corner and eats chips while everybody fights. I think someone called Actman that when making a bad review for a game, and then he reacted to that. That's literally Quantum. He just showed up, called game bad, gave no reasons, left, and now he's wondering why he's getting backlash.
lose credibility when you talk about things that you don't really understand. And you try to pass it off
Yeah.
as, like, fact, or...
Yep.
You know, when you say things like...
Okay, bye, bitch. I don't give a fuck. The reality is, that's my opinion, based off of playing it as a new person. They have no easy mode. The graphics are dog shit.
Are you sure about that?
The graphics are dog shit.
The way you phrase things is important.
Yes,
Like,
very much so.
Elden Ring's graphics are complete fucking trash and I wipe my ass with them. Versus, I wasn't the biggest fan of the graphics and style. Two sentences saying the same thing. But
Kind
which
of, yeah.
one do you hate more?
Exactly, yeah.
There's a difference between, like, matter of fact, like, this animation is broken, and I think the graphics are bad. I think that. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Language, people.
And the thing that really pisses me off...
That is a very important thing. I said that in the beginning of this video. I said how you frame things and you just assuming things will make you look worse than, you know, at least making it clear that you don't know for a fact.
off is all these fucking fans of this game know that the graphical issues are there. They'll try to say it's okay or it's passable. It's shit. Be honest.
The stuttering problems, I played the game despite that because the game was so good. Is it bad? Yes. Did
Yeah,
stop
it probably
me from
was.
Playing the game? No.
Negative.
When you look at the gameplay itself, it's clunky. The controls are shitty for a new person just getting in. I don't know how it is for you.
Controls are shitty if you're a new person to any game.
That
you
is
have
true.
To learn the controls, man. It's not a fucking...
Man, yeah, every time I go back to, like, Dark Souls 1 or 2, I'm like, man, I miss the smooth feeling of Elden Ring, especially with Dark Souls 2. Not that I would change those things about those games, it's just that, you know, when you play Elden Ring a certain amount of time and then you go back, you're like, ooh, I got some of that whiplash. I got smacked by them controls.
Flight simulator. The controls are hard, bro. There's only so many buttons on the controller. Like, just
Sounds like he's talking PC though.
But then, even if you are a vet, you're still gonna die a bunch of times, right? You
Yeah.
are.
That's true.
The way they made the game is so that the way the boss hits you, it takes so much of your life away. That's very frustrating.
Level up vigor.
But let me just give you a
Yes,
personal
level up
insight
vigor.
as to how I like to game.
Enlighten me.
I come home from work, I'm trying to unwind, I'm trying to relax. I'm not trying to sit there stressed out on some fucking game, yelling at the screen, trying to hashtag
Get good.
because that's like this mentality that all you guys have kind of gotten submitted into. You guys literally sound like abuse victims, right? Like we're in a shitty relationship, and that's just how it is, man. You know, you just take it on the chin, man. It's how it is.
You sound like abuse victims.
Somehow that
What a kind thing to say, dude. Oh,
that's somehow the least ridiculous thing I have heard from anybody in an Elden Ring community. Not that he's part of the Elden Ring community, but you know.
what's that? You like a video game? You fucking abuse victim?
You shouldn't be saying that's how it is, or, you know, we just know that that's how these games are. It's not for everyone. A game that's not for everyone isn't a game that should be made, in my opinion.
Oh, I forgot about that statement. Ouch. A game that's not made for everyone is not a game that should be made. Ever notice that there's no 100% game on Metacritic? There's no game that's ever gotten the 100 from every single critic. There's always a critic that does not like it as much. Every single time. Especially not user reviews. Like, come on. User reviews are always lower for the most part. And there's a reason for that, right? Ugh. Do I need to clarify? Do I even need to talk about this? I don't think I do. Okay, so, long story short, there's no game that's made for everybody. Hang on, let me full face. There's no game that's made for everybody. There's always going to be someone who hates a game. There's always going to be someone who hates gaming in general, right? There's no such thing as a game made for everybody. Moving on.
A game that is not for everyone is a game that shouldn't be made, in my opinion.
Call of Duty? Oh, no, those are gone. That's gone. Those aren't for kids. Halo
Starts
Reach,
pulling up for his
rated M. That's gone. Fable? Oh, no, kids are playing that. Bioshock? That's gone.
Nope.
Mass Effect? Sex and that. Dragon Age sucks. Tales of Vesperia? Rated T.
No, not Tales of Vesperia.
You're gone. Dragon Ball Z? Oh, there's violence in that. Not made for everyone. Fighting game? Infinite Warfare? Yeah, oh, yeah. That's made for nobody. That's made for even less people. Oh, God. Oh, get rid of all of this. All this. No more games.
You know what I hate to see about this is he had to pick all that crap back up. He had to rearrange his gaming for a gimmick. Oh no. Axeman, no.
No more games. None of these are made for every single person on the planet. Gotta get rid of everything. Everything burns.
A game that's not for everyone isn't a game that should be made, in my opinion.
What do you mean? No single product on the planet can be made for everyone. I don't know why people use ultimatum statements like this. It's like, it always goes back to the accessibility thing. Like, maybe you just don't enjoy this thing and you should get over it. I think that might be one of the worst takes I've ever heard.
Games
Yeah.
are supposed to be fun, transcend the reality that we have right now, take you to new worlds, give you new abilities. You're allowed to do things that you never ever could do in the real world without consequence, and be accessible to anyone regardless of experience level.
Like when people like this
What?
say every game should be made for everyone, it's like, okay, so why the fuck do we have a rating system then? Because
Yeah.
not every game is made for everyone.
Because the reality is, if it wasn't so ridiculously hard and you had the thrill of dying a bunch of times, it's really a lackluster game with shitty graphics. The graphics are dog shit. Again, I'm new to the franchise, had no idea what it is, and then
The problem is you're new to the franchise, yet you act like your opinions are far more important than everyone else's. It's like,
Yes.
no, your opinions are less important. That's what we're trying to tell you.
And even less so when you don't explain yourself, right? That's the big thing. If you had your own reasons, people could literally just say this game's not for you. I've gotten comments like that about games that I know are kind of for me because I like those kinds of games, and yet I don't like a certain feature, and then people come and say that, oh, this game's not for you. I'm like, dude, I'm talking about one feature. I'm not talking about the whole game. One feature. Just one. I just don't like this one particular thing in this particular game. I don't like when horror games throw excess amounts of puzzles in my face. I use horror games because I was running a horror channel. I might go back to that, but...
of course, when you go to the community as a new gamer, you would think, right, as a gamer, you'd have people being welcoming. I had maybe 5 people in the whole comment thread. Like, hey man, you know, let's do those bosses together, I'll help you out. You know, only 5 people. The rest of them were like, oh, you're a clown, you've lost credibility, it's demeaning.
You would
Huh. I can't imagine why. Look, like I said with that Reddit thing where I see people just endlessly complain on a subreddit, I know when to try and help them and when not to. Because for the most part, when people complain, they're not really worth helping because I can tell they don't actually care. They don't usually care that much. You can see something when they do. You can tell in the way they word things when they do care. Oftentimes they don't. And usually if I am willing to help somebody, there's usually someone else in there offering it anyway, so I don't usually do that. But hey, look, if you're watching this video, if you need help with something, hit me up. I got all the Souls games on PC. I'll help you out. Yeah, just ask. I'll help you.
I think people would be welcoming. I only told them that if you like this
game,
you probably don't have any friends or family. Why don't you like me? You pieces of shit. You're supposed to like me. Well, how are your people skills so bad? You don't know that, like, hey, insulting people doesn't make friends. You insult them after you become friends.
Known, by the way, for being incredibly fucking difficult, and it's your fault. Not
also, why are you one-handing the
every single player of all kinds
serpent
of walks
sword?
of life? They don't care.
They don't care about you. This game isn't for you. Not every game should be made for everyone. He's the type of guy that...
Amen.
You know, it's a challenge, and it has to be for players who think every game is fucking easy, and if you aren't one of those players, then you are a scumbag, you filthy casual. At the end of the day, go kill yourself, man. At the end of the day, go kill yourself, man. At the end of the day, go kill yourself, man.
I might have to even cut that, because I don't know how... Why? I don't recall what YouTube... I don't remember when YouTube said you can't say certain things, and I've lost... All of that change has been scrambled in my brain. I don't even remember what YouTube does and doesn't like anymore. I might have to cut him telling you to off yourself, but...
Am I still getting hate?
Oh, what was that clip from? Oh, wait. What was that from?
Why am I still getting hate?
Oh, that sounds so familiar. What was that? Oh, no. I feel like it's right on the tip of my tongue. Anyways, moving on.
I can see why you deleted this video. I can't understand why you posted it in the first place.
I'm not gonna sit here and like be demeaned and talked down to because I don't enjoy a shit fest of a game.
You're on the internet. You're on the internet, Quantum TV.
Yeah.
People are gonna not like you.
Where your
Fair enough.
misunderstanding is, but hopefully by explaining this to you, I can maybe kind of smooth out your aggression and your backlash. Again, nothing against you. It's not a personal attack. At the end of the day, go kill yourself, man. You like what you like, but it is childish to look at somebody and say that, you know, you're X, Y, and Z because you don't like the video game I like. It doesn't run that deep for me. At the end of the day, go kill yourself.
It clearly does. It ran that deep for you when you tried to, like, copyright strike every single freaking YouTuber who reacted to your content. Oh, goodness.
And at the end of the day, it's a trash game. It's going to stay on the shelf, and I stand by what I said 100%. At the end of the day, go kill yourself, man. I don't recommend it, and I think anyone who bought that game, frankly, likes a challenge. You're one of those diehard players. But for most people, it's not recommended. And that's the video.
Okay. That was terrible.
We're going to start with the good stuff. Elden Ring can be purchased at places like Amazon and really most online retailers and returned. That's a silver lining. And the best thing about this game.
He made a part 3 video.
Oof. I don't even know if I think we've seen enough. I don't really want to go into the part 3. This is old stuff anyways. This was a bunch of old drama. I don't really need to rehash any of that. It's just kind of fun to go back, and you can even see on the side, or you can't see it, but on the side it's like the Quantum TV and Narcissist's Road to Arrest. I never actually did watch that one. I don't think. Because I guess that just means he's gone, finally. I think I saw Actman's post saying the issue has finally been settled. Quantum got what he was coming to him. Coolio. Good for him. Like Actman said, there's a way to phrase things. It's very important. There's a way to phrase things. That's why I don't want to ever use this channel to start drama. I will trash talk creators. And they can trash talk me. I probably won't respond to it because I ain't got the energy for that crap. They can say whatever they want. Whatever, that's fine. But at the end of the day,
go kill yourself, man.
Don't just show up and say Game X bad. Game X bad. Just use your brain, people. Use your head. Those are some very entertaining hot takes. I enjoyed that a lot. Actman and his editors have a way of doing things. I enjoyed that a lot. So, hopefully next time I'm going to go into those Reddit posts and show you some of those things. So, don't you dare go hollow. Like and subscribe.